Welcome to this edition of Successions. We finally caught up to the jet-setting Mr. Dave Tilson, past chairman of the Fiesta Bowl, and he is certainly not just an inspiration to many in the greater Phoenix area, but to folks nationwide. Hey Dave, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Oh, great. Good morning. Good to see you all, and I'm glad that you asked me to speak today.
So Dave, could you tell our viewers about your experience and pathway as past chairman of the Fiesta Bowl and its related properties?
Well, it's been a very long time coming. I don't know that a lot of people realize, but I've been 27 years. I started out in 1984 as a volunteer. Somebody asked me to come out and help them on an event. The Fiesta Bowl used to run about 50 events a year. I went out and worked on a golf tournament, hole-in-one. In fact, the first hole-in-one, $1 million hole-in-one in America was invented by the Fiesta Bowl. Now they're all over America. But I went out and worked on that, and somebody saw me working, and I don't know, maybe I looked like a good worker, so they asked me to work on another thing a couple of weeks later, and I've never stopped working. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but somehow I ran a lot of events. I was the chairman of a lot of events. I was on the committee, the fundraising committee, the chairman of the committee, on the board of directors, and finally worked my way into where I was the chairman of the board of the Fiesta Bowl.
So what about your most memorable standout moments and even games?
Oh, you know, as the chairman of the board, handing out the trophy on national TV is incredible. I was very fortunate. I did not have a championship game, but I had the Ohio State-Texas game, and I don't know that a lot of people know, but I'm really great personal friends with Jim Trussell, and so I was pulling very hard, quietly in my mind. You can't show any favoritism at the bowl, but it was a dream of mine to hand him a trophy for the Fiesta Bowl. Mac Brown of Texas, and Texas won that game with a minute 18 left, and it was a great game. I think that's what you want to have as a chairman. You want to have a great game, and television ratings were good. It had the classic quarterbacks. I think at the end of the day, both quarterbacks that played in my game will probably win the Heisman Trophy. Pryor, maybe some people said he won't, but I think that he still has an opportunity as a sophomore. He'll be a junior this year. He has an opportunity maybe to win it.
So I think a lot of folks are wondering your feelings about the age-old topic of the BCS or playoff system.
Well, I mean, it's a long debated issue. I think everyone would recognize that because I'm in the bowl system that I come down on the side of the BCS. We're not going to get into the standard radio talk show fare of about what it is and who didn't get in and why they didn't get in. I think the bigger issue is that let's look at the health of the business. Since the BCS was instituted, the ratings on college football have gone up every single year the BCS is in existence. It made one thing happen. Every game of every football season in Division I counts. It means something, and every team now knows it. You have to win. Every game is a playoff game. It's created a huge sensation in college football. It's brought fans back. Attendance at games are up. Ratings are up. It's been spectacular for the business of college football. The guys that are all about playoffs, they have to sell talk radio. Quite honestly, that's the only place this stuff exists, and some written media. But anybody that is in the business of selling television and ads recognizes what's happened with the BCS.
So, hey, let's give a shout out and insight to the Insight Bowl.
Well, the Insight Bowl is a great little opportunity. I don't know that a lot of people. I can step back a little bit in time. The history of the bowl is that ASU was a resident in Tempe, Arizona. They continued to get left off of the great bowl opportunities, even when Frank Kush would be undefeated or have a game, even lose a game. They weren't invited to very many good bowls, and people out here in the West were very disenchanted with the bowl system. So the local people here in Arizona put up their personal money, went out and figured out a way to get a bowl in Tempe, Arizona. They partnered up with ASU, And so that was the history of how it got started. The first 7 of the first 5 Fiesta Bowls ASU played in. They were great games. Wasn't a lot of ratings, weren't a lot of television, but it was a start, and we got better every year. We tried to make the game better every year, and we sat down every year and tried to get it better. Well, somewhere along the line, the BCS came into existence, and it was imperative upon us to go out and put ourselves in a position to compete, to be in it. And one of the things that had to happen was we had to have a new stadium. There's a lot of history there, but we won't get into that. But as soon as the Fiesta Bowl moved out to Glendale to the new stadium, we had the opportunity to move the Insight game, which we had bought, was the Copper Bowl in Tucson, but it was about to be decommissioned. The NCAA and ESPN had asked us to jump in and see if we could save it. We tried to run it down there. We couldn't make it work. We moved it to Bank One, and it actually was selling about 40,000 people. And we had some really great teams, some great games. We were very fortunate. After the game moved to Glendale, Tempe stepped up with us, and we sat down and talked, and we decided that we would be partners with each other and try and bring a local company inside who's based in Tempe and try and make sure that Tempe had had an opportunity to market itself nationally in the bowl system. In recent years, one of the things that's happened is the Fiesta Bowl, who owns both bowls through Fiesta Events, we have decided that and made an effort this year to step up. We're going to pay $3.5 million a game for the 2 teams, and we've got the approval of the Big 12 and the Big 10 to move up to their number 4 teams. We believe that the Insight game in Tempe has been averaging about 50,000 people, and we believe with this new alignment and the kind of games that we believe we can get, we'll start selling 75,000 tickets again. And we're really excited about this new partnership with Tempe and Insight, and we are going to, this game now competes with the Gator Bowl, those kind of games here in the United States, and we're going to make every effort to step up our abilities to deliver a great product to people and help Tempe market themselves in that manner.